Emily Dickinson was born on December 10, 1830, in the town of Amherst, Massachusetts, to a prominent family with strong ties to the community. She attended Amherst Academy in her youth before she attended a female seminary for a short time. She was very well known in the community for being reclusive. She was often spotted wearing white, and in her later life, she rarely left her bedroom. She was never married, and the majority of her friendships were made and maintained through written correspondence. She died on May 16, 1886, at 55 years old, in the town she was born in. She wrote over 1,800 poems in her life, of which 10 were published in her lifetime. Her writing style was unique in that her poems often lacked titles, and she often has short lines, used slant rhymes, and used unconventional capitalization. The poem. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held just by ourselves in immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us. The dews drew, quivering and chill, for only gossamer, my gown, my tippet, only tulle. We passed before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice, the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day when I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. The poem has a rhyme scheme of A-B, C-B, and is in common meter, alternating between iambic tetrameter and iambic trimeter. The tone is relatively calm. The narrator of the poem constantly says to the auditor that she feels calm and is at ease, even though she is in a carriage ride with death. Many different poetic devices are used in this poem. One example of this would be allusion. In the line, or rather, he passed us, he is alluding to the sun. There are many themes in this poem, but the two most prevalent are death and eternity. I believe the speaker is trying to convey to the auditor not to fear death, as although it can be unexpected and can cause many people to worry, death itself is not something that they should fear or be worried about. This poem does not necessarily relate to me on a personal level, but it is nice to be reassured about death and not to worry about it. As for why I chose this poem, I feel that it is the one I like the most and it is the easiest to write about. Thank you very much for being my teacher this semester, and I thank you for this opportunity to turn this assignment in.